Hello and welcome to the Fixtures podcast.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
So, this podcast comes to you in honor of Unai Emery.
Rest in peace. He won't be missed at all by Dracula. Haha, he's gone.
Yes, sir.
It's finally happened. So we're going to do this week's episode a little bit different because we're going to cover both the weekend and the games during the week. So we're kind of just going to run down every team, I think, and both their games that they played, and we'll go from there. So I think we will kick it off with Newcastle 2, Manchester City 2. So let's make this about Manchester City. So Manchester City 2-2 with Newcastle, and then following it up during the week with a 4-1 against Burnley. This puts them even farther behind Liverpool for the race for the title.
Newcastle or City?
Well, both.
That's a good joke, Nikki. I would laugh really hard.
Oh yeah, Connor's
okay.
here this week too.
We should probably introduce her. Who's here? I'm Nikki.
My voice is half gone. I'm Mark.
I'm Connor.
And of course, Ryan. Hi. Okay, so anyway. So yes. So
Yes, sir.
does this put Manchester City out of reach of Liverpool at this point? Nikki.
Yes.
I don't think so. I mean, Liverpool's been known to slip up every here and there.
Stop. That's painful.
And so, honestly, they're pretty comfortable right now, but I would not put it past them to blow it, because if any team in the world could blow it, it's Liverpool.
8 points clear at the moment.
If
for the
any
record.
team could
Nope,
do
it's
it,
Spurs.
it's Liverpool.
It's Spurs, but Liverpool second. Anyways, City, this team, once Laporte comes back, like they're not going to lose another game. It's just their defense is wet paper.
Wet.
Yeah,
Wet.
but not like good wet, like bad wet. You know.
So I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, was it just poor defending again in that Newcastle game, or did Newcastle play well and outplay City? I mean, what do we think happened there?
I have a question.
Yes.
Sure.
Do you think a title-winning backline consists of John Stones and Fernandinho?
No.
Not at all.
That
Mark.
answers your question.
Yes, it does.
All right. So I think we're going to kind of move through this episode pretty quickly. So I think let's jump there then to Newcastle. So 2-2 with Manchester City, following it up with a 2-0 win against Sheffield United at Sheffield United.
Those are really good results. Right now they're in 11th place. Newcastle 1 point off. Sheffield United, Arsenal, United, I think.
Tied with Sheffield United, tied with Arsenal.
There we go.
How do you feel about that, Mark?
Points.
Oh,
1 point behind
not happy.
Spurs. 1 point behind Spurs.
But yeah, Newcastle United turned their season around, obviously. They're looking
Big time.
pretty good at the moment.
You know who didn't turn their season around?
Shut up.
Arsenal.
Arsenal did not.
We did turn our season around, just the other way. But Alan San Maximan scored a goal.
Scored a goal.
Yeah, finally.
And Miguel Almiron got an assist.
And who was the other goal scored by?
Shelby again. John Joe
Yeah, I'm
Shelby,
not surprised.
who has been in fantastic form recently.
Shelby is like the opposite of what
That
I
goal
thought
was
he
a
would be.
banger too, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought he was 35 years old at the beginning of the season, but you know what? That's fine. He's banging him in. He's doing well. This Newcastle side's looking better. Who needs Rafa when you got Steve?
All right, moving on. Let's jump to Liverpool and their fixtures. Liverpool 2, Brighton 1, and following that up with Liverpool 5, Everton 2. So let's start with Liverpool 2, Brighton 1. The big talking point, I think, of this game, Alisson red card. What happened there?
It was funny.
Handball. That's it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something you can't do in the game of football.
Thank you, Connor.
I am clearly, I don't watch the EPL a lot. So.
Van Dijk with 2 goals. Very good performance from him.
Anybody who had Van Dijk on their fantasy team, I hate you.
He did not get the clean sheet, though, thanks to Adrian. Okay, so this is one thing I wanted to talk about. Why is Martin Atkinson still allowed to ref Liverpool games? I don't understand it.
Most of the Premier League refs are like literally the worst refs in Europe. Like you look at other leagues, like in France and Spain, they don't have as bad refs. Like who has Andre Mariner or John Moss? Is he still going?
Yep.
Yeah. I remember when Harold Webb was a thing. I hated that guy. Just all these refs are like dummy dumbs, you know.
So for Brighton's goal, this is a free kick from the Allison handball. Adrian is coming on off the bench and is setting up his wall, getting kind of into his goal and getting all set. Martin Atkinson decides to blow and allow for an early free kick from Lewis Dunk before the wall is set up and while Adrian is out of position. That seemed wrong to me.
Who needs clean sheets when you've got Van Dijk? Oh, wait.
So I think moving on from there, we have Liverpool 5, Everton 2.
Can we all laugh at Marco Silva?
Yes. And also the other big name gone, Marco Silva officially has been sacked from Everton.
Loser.
Was this a long time coming?
He should have been gone after like last season, to be honest. Like with the other managers, like that Watford lad and Unai Emery. Yeah, they both didn't have awful seasons. Like they both made a case to stay at the club. Marco Silva didn't do that last season. He really shouldn't have been allowed to stay on board, but he was, and they're in the relegation zone because of it. So later.
So who do you think you bring in place of Marco Silva
personally
for this Everton team?
For the memes, Big Sam. I'm joining that gravy boat. Seriously though, probably like Nagelsmann.
Wait, are we talking about we're talking about the Everton job, right?
Yes, sir.
Everton job.
Moyes, David Moyes.
Yeah,
Why would
I was gonna say David Moyes?
Moyes is like the favorite.
I don't think he would. I don't think he should come back as the thing. I mean, he literally went to United, flopped. I think he's out of managing.
He did better than the Solskjaer did.
Not.
Yes, he did.
Actually,
Solskjaer has the lowest win rate of any Manchester United manager in like the past
he does have
5 years.
But he has a worse team.
No.
Yeah, he does.
Paul Pogba.
He starts Jesse
David
Lingard.
De Gea.
He starts. Dude, Moyes had David De Gea too.
Paul Pogba.
Okay, but Moyes had, I don't know, who was that one guy?
Marcus Rashford. Anthony Martial.
Fellaini
was insane.
Harry Maguire.
Mind
Aaron
you.
Wan-Bissaka.
I still think the old United team was better, but anyways.
All right, let's I saw. I don't know. Yeah, so I think there definitely are a few interesting names floating around for that Everton job, but
Nagelsmann, I would say
no real big names really.
Yeah, they're not attracting anyone sitting in 18th.
No,
right
not really. But meanwhile, Divock Origi outscoring both Salah, Mane, and Firmino all combined versus Everton all time. How good is Divock Origi?
Like, no joke. I used to joke about this, but like Lil Vok, he's a god. Like there's no better player. It used to be Welbeck, but you know what? Welbeck's gone. Welbeck's at Watford. He's getting relegated. Okay, now the real big deal is Divock Origi, and you know what? I have literally every cell in my body is just devoted to Divock Origi. I'm not even a Liverpool fan, and that's how much I love Lil Vok. Especially after the Champions League final last year, I can't repay him with anything but with gratitude and love. I love you, Divock Origi.
And then moving on from there, we have of course Shaqiri coming back as well. The cube has returned.
Shaqiri.
I think that was just for one. I don't know why he's been sitting on. I do know why he's been sitting on.
Well,
the
he's
bench,
been injured most of this season,
and then also Salah and Mane ahead of him. Keita, same thing. He hasn't been playing.
Yeah, and he's been injured too. Yeah.
He's
been out almost the whole season. He came back for like 2 games and then exploded again.
Nice.
All right. Cool. I think that wraps up Liverpool.
They're gonna win the league. I'm sorry, but No Gerrard slip here.
So let's talk about Brighton.
I hate Brighton.
Brighton loses to Liverpool by 1, and then goes on to beat Arsenal 2-1.
Graham Potter, I'm coming for your head. I hate you. And also Neil Maupay.
hate you.
I hate Neil Maupay too. I also hate that I missed literally every goal in this game because I was doing. I wasn't watching for the first goal because I was at school. Second goal, I decided to maybe I gotta go to the bathroom. I didn't during halftime for some reason. Boom, Lacazette scores. I'm like, okay, whatever. I come back and I pick my brother up from school, and what do you know? Neil Maupay scores while I'm on the way to school. You know what? Thank you. I'm so happy about having Freddie Ljungberg that I'm pretty much very glad with the 1 point from 2 games against Brighton and who was it?
Norwich.
Yeah, we haven't won a single game since October.
60 days.
60 days. I had not.
So this is devolved into the Arsenal talk. So
I have
win
not
November
seen
for Arsenal.
I have not seen an Arsenal win since that 1-0 win at Bournemouth. And even then, I didn't see the goal because I was in the bathroom again.
Mark, that must be very sad.
I miss every goal that Arsenal scores, and we don't even score goals.
Sounds like you should just stop watching Arsenal when they
I
win.
actually do not want to watch Arsenal anymore. But you know what?
Switch to a Chelsea fan.
I hate you. But you know what? I can still watch Napoli get relegated, and I can
And lose all their players.
Yeah.
And their manager and everything about the team. They're turning into Bury.
I hate everything.
Italian Bury.
My soccer life is devoid of meaning. I don't have anyone to watch anymore. Please come back, Unai. I'm kidding. Please don't come back. But Freddie Ljungberg hasn't had time. But
Arsene Wenger, please come back.
Or Wenger in. But Nicolas Pepe has been rotting on the bench for no reason.
Would you take Nicholas Bettner as your manager right now?
Yes. Yes, 100%. I would take anyone but Freddie Ljungberg, and that's not a knock against Freddie Ljungberg. But I've already seen his first 2 games, and I'm done.
I think it's just the team is unmanageable. The
team is
defense
so
is just
literally,
uncoachable.
okay.
The defense is uncoachable. That's what Neville said.
So let's take a step back here. Let's take a step back. So with the team they have, what would you do differently to win a game here as Arsenal?
Pull a Napoli.
I would sell every single
Pull a
defender
Napoli.
other than Tierney.
Well, right now, if I
Bellerin,
put you
Holding,
in
and
charge,
Chambers.
let's say, okay, Mark, you are in charge of Arsenal versus West Ham.
We're going down, boys.
So you think it's not salvageable? Doesn't matter who's in the dugout. Doesn't matter what tactics you have.
I think
You're screwed.
the only way that this defense is going to work is with Tierney, Bellerin. I don't like him, but David Luiz and somebody
Secret Agent Louise.
Yeah, he conceded more penalties at Arsenal than he did in like 8 years at Chelsea. What is with that? And then also with Luiz probably Holding. We don't have any good defenders right now. Holding's, he just came back from injury. Chambers is Chambers. David Luiz has more mistakes than anything. Socrates, Mustafi should be sent away to Siberia for the rest of his life. I don't get it. If Williams
Socrates should have stuck to philosophy. To be honest.
he should have stuck to Germany. Please
Very
go
funny,
back.
Nikki.
But I wish William Saliba was at Arsenal right now. Do you know how many clean sheets Saint Etienne have had in the league with William Saliba? How many? Like 7 in a row. What is a clean sheet and how do you get them? And please, William Saliba, I need you. Please.
Yeah.
Dude, and Leno, okay, if it were not for Bernd Leno, if we still had Almunia or like Ospina, bad Fabianski, bad Szczesny between the sticks, we would lose every... Yeah, aging Petr Cech, we would lose every single game. Bernd Leno is like double Jesus for Arsenal. Oh my God. I love you, Bernd Leno, more than Divock Origi.
More than Danny Welbeck?
Way more than Danny Welbeck.
Let me apologize for everyone listening to having to hear Mark's voice for that long.
I'm sorry.
So let's now talk about who takes that job.
Sadly,
Zlatan.
no. Okay, obviously this is never happening, but Pochettino would be beautiful. I would take Ten Hag from Ajax, but he doesn't want to leave. Brendan Rodgers just signed an extension with Leicester like today, so that's not happening. So to be honest, I don't know who would take the job. Mourinho's not an option anymore. Honestly, at this point, I would take Mourinho, but he's at the worst club in England, so whatever. But yeah, I've lost all hope. Everything is wrong with the world. Arsenal sucks. I'm so sorry to any Arsenal fans. We're all in this together.
Do you think Nunez would be a good manager for Arsenal?
You mean Nuno?
Yeah.
He'd be all right. I don't think he'd be the best manager. I personally don't want him because I feel like what he's done at Wolves is very just Wolves. Like it's like what I'm thinking of is like what Liverpool would have done with Brendan Rodgers, taking a young manager. I guess Nuno's not young.
He's pretty young.
Well, either way, taking a manager like with an up and coming team and then bringing them to a bigger team that's struggling. Like Brendan Rodgers had one great season with Liverpool, and I look back on it with fond memories, and except for the slip. And then other than that, Brendan Rodgers was pretty god awful. I could see the exact same thing happening with Nuno at Arsenal, and yeah, I don't know who could coach this team back into the top 6 because we're in 11th. I would take Mikel Arteta too. He was being considered for the job over the summer, last summer, when Emery was hired. But they didn't take him for whatever reason. Mikel Arteta, please come home, buddy. I miss you. Be the Arsenal manager. Screw Man City. And yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
All right. Moving on. Did we talk about Burnley yet?
We have not talked about Burnley.
All right. Let's talk about Burnley. Their last 2 results were my finger is in immense pain and is stinging badly. My blister popped on my finger.
Can we please talk about Burnley?
Yes, please.
Mark, run the show.
Okay.
Ow.
Run the show. I'm trying.
Talking about Burnley, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Where is Burnley? No!
Oh my God, Mark!
No! Oh my God!
Burnley FC versus Crystal Palace.
All right, Burnley lost 2-0 to Crystal Palace. So Joel Ward has been injured with Martin Kelly filling in. To be honest, I don't care about Palace, don't care about Burnley, but let me check really quickly. Yes, Wilfried Zaha scored his first goal of the season in this match. The most underperforming player of the season so far did score a goal in this match. Good job, Wilf. Burnley didn't look great. It's Burnley. They're not great this season. I don't know what's going on there. Sean Dyche has been eating too many worms. Okay, on to the next game.
Eating too many worms, Mark?
Yes.
Nice.
Game week 15, they got drubbed 4-1 by Manchester City. I mean, this is just business as usual for City.
City's not as strong this year, though. Like, 4-1, I feel like
they would have beat them 5-0 last year. We even beat them 5-0 at one point, but that was like 3 years ago. So,
City definitely should have won that game, but it should have been, like, much more. City's just so much more weaker this year because people have figured out how to beat the City press.
Yes, they have.
And once people figure that out, that's like
it's over for Pep. Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
Here, Gabriel Jesus did score a brace along with a beautiful Rodri goal, and Riyad Mahrez topped it off for Manchester City. Meanwhile, for Bradley, the Irishman Robbie Brady scored a goal. I mean, it was the 89th minute. Nothing was salvaging that game for Burnley, but it was a nice gesture by Robbie Brady. And we're gonna move on to Crystal Palace. I already talked about Palace's first game with Zaha scoring a goal. Along with Schlupp scoring in that game. Okay, I dropped the mic.
Mic drop.
Nikki's in immense pain. Nikki, can you look at who Crystal Palace played this week?
Which week?
No, he cannot.
This week, game week 15.
14?
15.
What about 14?
I talked about that already. Okay. Crystal Palace 1, Bournemouth 0 with a Crystal Palace red card. Oh, yeah. So they went down, they went a man down. Mamadou Sakho got a red card in the 19th minute. For 70 minutes, they held out against a admittedly limp Bournemouth attack with another Jeffrey Schlupp goal here for Crystal Palace, 2 in 2 game weeks. To be honest, business as usual yet again. They've been really solid at the back this season, 2 clean sheets in a row. I think that was actually 3. But yeah, just Crystal Palace have been defending pretty well under Big Roy Hodgson. Patrick Van Aanholt did get injured in this game, so look out for that, I guess.
Do you think Zaha leaves in January?
No, he hasn't been good enough at all.
Chelsea wants him.
I'm so sorry, Abramovich, that you're wasting your money, buddy. But I know Zaha is like meant to be the star of a team. He dribbles. He can.
Then why is he underperforming so much this year?
To be honest, I'm not sure. Especially considering the fact that the rest of the Palace team has not been doing awful. It's weird.
All right, well, let's move on to big man Chelsea.
Aaron Cresswell with the goal against Chelsea. Well, okay, never mind.
Chelsea 0, West Ham 1 in match day 14.
Again, Aaron Cresswell scored the goal.
Honestly, I was watching this game and I was just appalled. It was mostly because Giroud was playing and Giroud is just not good enough.
Giroud is one of the worst Premier
He's so old. He's too old now. He's too old.
He's not too old. He was doing this badly when he was 27. He's not good.
He wasn't doing this badly last year.
Excuse me?
He was not doing this badly last year.
He's fooled people.
May I remind you of the Europa League final?
He shows up in a lot of games and then he disappears for 17 games straight, so you can't win the league. You had prime Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez behind you. Score a goal. I'm sorry. That's my pissed off Giroud talk.
Okay, well, moving on to Chelsea's game that was later in the
that
week.
really changed it, Mark.
Was Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 1.
Jack Grealish, I think, with the goal here.
Jack Grealish scored a phenomenal goal for Aston Villa. It was insane.
It was not in this game, though. This one was, I think, Trezeguet.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. I was wrong.
But, yeah, Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, the youth.
Mahmoud Hassan scored for Aston Villa.
That would be Trezeguet.
Cool.
Yeah. So, the young boys showing up.
Tammy Abraham had finally learned how to use his head and score a goal. He didn't even jump. He just let it hit him in the face and then it went in. He doesn't need to jump when you're 6'7".
Is he actually?
Yeah, he's 6'7".
Holy. But, yeah, and then Villa's front line looks pretty deadly.
Mason Mount scored a phenomenal volley. And I think the biggest news out of Chelsea recently is by far that the transfer ban has officially been lifted and we can now sign players in January.
Do you think that they should sign players, though? I don't think so. I feel like they've got a good young core.
I think we do, but I think...
left back. You need a left back.
I mean, Marcos Alonso I personally think is good enough, but that's just me. But I think once we sign Ben Chilwell, we'll be
I don't
solid.
think that's happening.
That is 100% happening.
Why would he not want to stay at Leicester? They're ahead of Chelsea in the league.
Frank Lampard.
Brendan Rodgers.
England legend.
Brendan Rodgers, Celtic legend, Liverpool legend, Swansea legend. He is none of those, by the way. Yeah, no, he's really none of those. Leicester legend. We'll give Brendan Rodgers that. But yeah, and then you want to talk about Villa? Okay,
hang on. No, Chelsea's some of their big transfer targets for the January window are Ben Chilwell is probably number 1.
Big Wilf.
Some guy named Travlov from Russia.
That's not Big Wolf.
Timo Werner.
He's on a Bayern, though, I thought.
Yeah, he's going everywhere, apparently. And then, unfortunately, Wilfried Zaha.
Don't get Zaha. Please be smart. And moving on, we got Aston Villa. So I remember that they beat United.
West Ham,
oh, yeah, sure. Let's go with West Ham. You've gone up too far.
Oh, they're right there.
Oh, Chelsea 0, West Ham 1. Again, Aaron Cresswell scoring the goal. Not much to report. It's West Ham. Oh, actually, I think this game they did not have Roberto between the sticks. And golly, they kept a clean sheet. Roberto is literally the worst keeper ever. That's it.
Later on in the week, West Ham faced Wolves and lost 2-0.
Catrone's first goal.
Catrone finally scored. I was very happy. I really like Patrick Catrone.
And of course, Leander Dendoncker opening up the scoring for Wolves. Yeah, Wolves again. I mean, if you expect a 2-0 against West Ham from them, so whatever. Can I see who started in defense in that game?
And
Sorry, give me a second.
That would be Agbona and Balbuena.
Oh, Balbuena and Ogbonna. Yeah, that's not their starting
Rocky
defense.
Balboa.
But yeah,
the Italian stallion.
they didn't have Big Issa Diop or I don't know who they played. Did they play Fredericks? I think he's a right back. Whoever, they didn't start their starting center back pairing there, and it wasn't Roberto in goal for this one, was it? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Martin.
Yeah. Martin was their third choice keeper, but Roberto has been so terrible that, yeah, he's actually gotten passed up by their third choice goalkeeper. And to think, Roberto played a full season for Benfica and they still almost won the league. Farmers League, SMH my head. All right, moving on to Wolves in game week 14.
Wolves 1, Sheffield United 1. Followed up by the one we just talked about, Wolves 2, West Ham 0.
So who were the scorers in the first game?
First game scores was Dougherty.
Oh yeah,
And
was it? It was somebody to Dougherty. It was a really nice goal. I don't know, but it was a nice goal, I think. Yeah.
Wolves here. They're on a decent run of form right now.
Yeah,
they're in fifth place right now, right behind Chelsea.
Well, I wouldn't say right behind, but yeah.
I mean, do we see them finishing top 6?
Top 6 for sure. Top 4, maybe.
Nikki, what do you think? Top 6 for Wolves?
Top 6 is a reasonable goal. I think top 4 is definitely a stretch. I think the top 4 is staying as it is right now. I mean, there's going to be shifting within the top 4, but I think the top 4 teams right now is staying locked in for the rest of the season.
Top 4, yeah. I feel like Wolves are a lock for top 6, though, to be honest. Like, there's no way they're falling out of that.
Well, Spurs right now are outside of the top 6. They're the ones who are gunning for one of those spots.
I feel like it's going to be one of Spurs or United finishing in 6th.
United right now sitting on 21 points, Spurs on 20.
Yeah, one of those two is going to finish 6th. And they're going to complain about their season, but then they remember that United and Arsenal, or Spurs and Arsenal, finished in like 8th and 9th, so whatever.
All right. So, have we talked about Sheffield United yet?
We have not.
No.
Sheffield United 1, Wolves 1. Followed up by Sheffield United 0, Newcastle 2. Sheffield United not looking so hot anymore.
Well, okay, John Lundstrom still won man of the match in the second game. I feel like the second game was just Newcastle actually playing like a team that deserves to be in the Premier League rather than Sheffield United looking bad. I mean, like, you look at Newcastle United's team and you just see like a better squad than Sheffield United. Like, even like, just forgetting that Sheffield United is a newly promoted team, like, Newcastle's squad has been massively underperforming. So I feel like these last few results have been pretty good for them, and I feel like this, at the beginning of the season, you would have been surprised, but here I'm not too surprised about that result.
And I mean, Sheffield United had a very, very good start to the season and have been on a fairly poor run of form recently. 1 win in their last 5, 3 draws, 1 loss. Seeing them kind of plummet down from 5th place at their highest, I believe, to currently sitting in 9th, tied with Arsenal. It's good for a newly promoted team, but they had such a good, strong start that it's kind of a shame to see them falling off, but almost to be expected. So I think that wraps up Sheffield United. Have we talked about Villa yet?
Oh,
No.
we did.
Oh, wait, we did? Oh, yeah,
Yes,
we
we
did.
did.
Yes, we did.
We have not talked about Manchester United.
All right, let's talk Manchester United. Manchester United 2, Villa 2, followed up by Manchester United 2, Spurs 1.
Oh, we didn't talk about Villa. Never mind. Well, we talked about Villa's second game, so talking about their first game is going to fulfill our Villa quota. So, oops.
So United with a draw and a win, not a very convincing win, if I do say so.
Sorry, who was the win against again?
Spurs.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I mean, those are two all right results. Jack Grealish played out of his mind against United, so I wouldn't be too mad about that. Brandon Williams also didn't underperformed in that game, though. He got caught out a bunch of times, but that's because El Ghazi and Trezeguet and big man Wesley were having a pretty good day. Villa's front line was doing pretty well against United, and yeah. And then as for the Spurs game, the only time Fred has ever played well at United, I mean.
Yeah. So,
always at the wheel.
So right now, United 2 wins in their last 5, 1 loss, 2 draws.
United's finishing in 7th.
Fairly good form, but not what you'd expect from Manchester United, I guess. But at what point do we have to say not what you expect from Manchester United and just say, yeah, this is kind of what we expect from Manchester United? I don't know. Does this keep Ali in charge longer?
He's staying at least till Christmas.
Does he make it? Does he make it to summer?
Does he make it to summer? And that is a question of how they do in Europa League and where they are in the league by like March. If they're not even contending for top 4 by March, which is still possible, by the way. I feel like we are writing off all the other teams for top 4, but United, Spurs, Sheffield United, and Wolves, they could all make it back up there. It's just, a lot of wins coupled with the other teams in the top 4 not making a lot of wins either. And then, a good run of form for United could see them back in the top 4 or at the very least top 6. I feel like if they finish top 6 this season, Ollie's still at the wheel. If they don't, he's gone. If they're out of the race for top 4 by like February, I think he's gone. Because at that point, they're in like 7th or 8th. If they're that low down in that stage of the season, he's got to be gone.
And right now, they are 8 points behind Chelsea in 4th.
Not an impossible amount to make up, but they have their work cut out for them. They don't have much depth either. I don't see them doing that well in this Christmas period, but then again, I don't really see Chelsea doing that well in this Christmas period, nor do I see City doing well in this Christmas period, because they're both lacking. All 3 of them are lacking depth. So maybe Manchester United could pull something and climb up the table. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
We will have to wait and see, Mark.
Thank you, Connor.
You're welcome.
All right. We're running low on time, and my laptop's about to die. So let's kind of do a speed run through. Norwich City 2, Arsenal 2. We kind of already talked about Arsenal.
I hate Todd Cantwell.
And then Norwich 1, Southampton 2.
I love Danny Ings. No, not really. I don't know why I said that.
Norwich has just had a poor season besides from the start, and they just can't produce numbers like they were earlier, and Pukki just isn't performing as well.
And it's not 100% Puki's fault. It's more like...
Well, I mean, it's a team effort, obviously.
The team behind him is way worse than he is.
But he is still underperforming compared to how he was at the beginning of the season.
That is very true. Ryan's laptop just died. So,
all right.
Well, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Fixtures Podcast.
Well, I think what we still have to talk about is Norwich, obviously sitting in second to last in the table, quite poor at the moment. Are their hopes done? Should they pack it in?
Of course not. It's still December.
No.
Yeah.
There's still time to turn it around.
Never forget Leicester 14-15 or Sunderland 15-16. Those were 2 of the greatest escapes I have ever seen. Especially Sunderland's was just mind-blowing. But yeah, I feel like never count a team out when it comes to a relegation race, especially after drawing 2-2 to Arsenal.
Unless they're Huddersfield. Or Fulham, to be honest. Fulham was sitting bottom of the table for a while last season.
I think almost the whole season, really.
Yeah.
No, that was Huddersfield, I thought.
But
No, that was Fulham.
it was Fulham. They just got lucky to not finish bottom. Let's go with Southampton because we just talked about
Southampton,
them.
yes. We've not talked about Southampton yet. Southampton looking at a
2-1.
win against Norwich, 2-1, and
2-1 against
Watford,
Watford.
2-1
too.
against Watford.
Those are two good results. That's
Beating the teams they need to beat, I think.
6 points against relegation rivals. That is pretty good for them. Danny Ings scores in both games. James Ward-Prowse in the first, coupled with a Ryan Bertrand goal in the second. Yeah, I mean, the players that should be scoring are scoring, minus Che Adams. Che Adams seems to have disappeared and should probably go back to the championship where he belongs. I'm sorry, Che, but you're only gonna do well down there, and that's not your fault.
I hope Southampton gets relegated.
I kind of do, except for I like Danny Ings. He can stay.
They deserve to be relegated.
So they have now 2 wins and a draw, and then 2 losses in their last 5.
Those 2 losses did come before the wins and draw.
These 2 wins and the draw now put them ahead of Everton by 1 point and 1 point clear of safety, with Everton dropping into 18th in the relegation
Ryan,
zone.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
As a Liverpool fan, would you be happy to see Everton go down?
Yes.
What? Why?
Because he's a Liverpool fan.
I'm an Arsenal
I
fan,
think-
and if Spurs got relegated, I'd be happy, but then I'd actually get sad for a
Because
little
I think it would be hilarious, and that because Everton aren't even really a threat at this point.
I miss the old Everton. Not really, but but Arsenal would always beat Everton. So actually, yeah, I do miss the old Everton.
They'll be back. I don't doubt that, but I don't know. I could see them going down. I mean,
They said that about Portsmouth.
I don't
They'll
know.
be back.
I enjoy. I enjoyed when Rangers was out of the Scottish Premier League.
Portsmouth never came back, Ryan.
I miss Portsmouth. I didn't even watch the Premier League back then. Who am I kidding? All right. Let's move on to Tottenham with a 3-2 win over Bournemouth with a Dele Alli brace with a Musa Sissoko scored in the league. I forgot about that. Oh my God.
Yep,
Plus
he sure
with
did.
2 Harry Wilson goals.
So what has Mourinho done to Dele Alli to get the best out of him?
Gave him a slap in the cheek.
Beat
and
him up.
Maybe that one too. Hopefully not. But actually, I don't like Dele Alli. So.
Well, I supposedly what he told when he got to Spurs, what he said to Dele was, "Are you Dele Alli or are you Dele Alli's brother?" And he was like, "What?" He's like, "I'm Dele Alli," and then he goes, "Good, then play like Dele Alli and not like your brother." And he's like, "What?" Okay.
Nice. Well, Mourinho has been very shaky at the back and very good at the front. It's not a great sentence at all.
Yeah, I mean it's surprising in a Mourinho team to see them conceding 2 or 3 goals almost every game.
Especially because it's like they score 3 goals and they let the other team score 2. And they're like, oh no, are we going to concede another one? Let's see. But they never do until United Tottenham. The end of an era of Mourinho's stay. Bye, Mourinho. You're getting fired. You lost to your old team against Marcus Rashford. 2 goals for him. Another Dele Alli goal. This one was very nice. Very well taken. Good job, Dele. Is this troubling for Mourinho though?
I don't think
losing
so.
to his old
It's
club.
been 2 games.
At Old
Losing
Trafford. It's been 3. And 3 games, 2 wins, 1 loss. That's not bad. I don't think. I think against United, I don't think you can feel too bad. United is such a wish-washy team at this point that I think you can see them coming through on a game like that where they want to stick it to Mourinho for sure. They want to show that they're better than he, said a lot of those players were. And, I don't doubt for a second that they wanted to, they had a chip on their shoulder, and Mourinho really didn't. And United came out on top because of that, I think.
I do like Mourinho's new positivity thing. I wonder how long it's gonna last.
I give it a month.
Until they get knocked out of the Champions League, then he's gonna get really, really bitter and be like, I have nothing to say. He's not going to say that, but I really wish
He'll
he
probably
would.
say that.
I have nothing to say.
Now let's see how Bournemouth did in their
I have nothing to say.
in their second game. Oh, they lost 1-0 to Crystal. Oh, this is when their attack looked like a limp noodle.
We already talked about this game.
Yeah, I know. Basically Ryan Fraser bad, Guaita good. No, actually, no, not even Guaita. Just like Palace's backline good.
All right.
Their attack is not good. Like, I remember at the beginning of the season, I was like, yeah, Bournemouth's going to finish in, like, 9th because their attack's going to do really well. What happened to that? Why? Why must you prove me wrong?
4 losses in their last 5.
Lose another one. Bet.
Another loss could see them potentially in danger of dropping into a relegation fight. I mean, they really are already in that.
Thanks, Connor. But yeah, what happened to Bournemouth? Eddie Howe. Ask Ryan Fraser if he's Ryan Fraser or Ryan Fraser's brother. Also, it has been oh god, I have to do math here. I think 8 or 9 game weeks since Callum Wilson has scored a goal. He scored in the first 7 and then disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, Bournemouth as a whole has been just really rough lately. I mean, do you see them turning it around, or do you see them?
They're finishing in 17th.
You think?
Not exactly 17th, but like 14th to 17th.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think there's plenty of teams who are in contention for that. I definitely see Villa finishing below them. I see Southampton finishing below them. It's weird, but I could see Everton finishing below them. I really could.
No, don't say that. That makes me sad.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Leicester. Okay. Leicester 2, Everton.
Leicester's on fire right now.
Yes, sir. Leicester 2, Everton 1. Kelechi Iheanacho scored.
Leicester should have had...
In the 94th minute. I'm so sorry, Everton fans. Like, that sucks. Getting scored on by Kelechi Iheanacho and a Jamie Vardy tap in.
I mean, Vardy, like, that's no surprise because he's unstoppable right now. But, like, I think Leicester should have had more goals in this game because Everton has not been doing well. But...
yeah, and a Richarlison goal. I mean, Richarlison's been quietly having an all right season. Not great, not bad, but...
And then the other Leicester game?
The other Leicester game would have been Leicester 2, Watford 0.
To Watford.
Vardy penalty, Madison goal. Thank you for the fantasy points, boys. I captained Mane last week when he didn't score, and Vardy this week when he scored 1. I should have switched it because Vardy got like 12 points last week and Mane got like 15 this week. I'm sad. I'm sorry. My fantasy team sucks, dude.
You're in first.
Okay, I'm in first out of us, but I'm still at like 400,000 overall, and I'm sad.
Got you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Coming for you.
Let's see.
Leicester's been doing really well, and they've kind of continued to do well. I think they have the best run of form.
5 wins.
They're tied with Liverpool right now. 5 wins in the last 5. Liverpool 5 wins in the last 5.
Personally, I think if there were any team to catch Liverpool, it would be Leicester.
I fully agree with that.
So does anybody not expect them to finish above City?
I don't expect it, but I believe it can happen. When I say I don't expect it is like it's not going to happen after this season, but if it happens this season, I'm not going to be terribly surprised.
I don't think it's out of the question at all. And as a City fan, I don't want it to happen, but I think it's very probable of happening.
Do you think John Stones will save your season?
No.
Yeah, he definitely won't.
Yeah.
Nikki, what do you think? Does Leicester finish above City?
Yes, of course. Leicester's on fire this season. City bad. Leicester good. The end.
Don't forget that Aguero's out. And Laporte is coming back pretty soon, like a month or so. That is, like, those are their 2 best players, I'd say. Plus David Silva. Okay, De Bruyne. De Bruyne is the best player in the league. Forgot he existed.
I wouldn't say De Bruyne is the best player in the league, but...
As a City fan, you don't say De Bruyne is the best player in the league.
I don't.
Who is?
I think it is Salah.
I wouldn't say that this season, but...
On his day, sure.
Previous seasons,
I
not
think
really.
okay. I think you have to look at it in different roles because they both play like their role on the team is much different.
Yeah, that's true.
And so you can say that De Bruyne is the best player in the league, but you also you can also argue that Salah is, but you look at the amount of goals scored versus passes and stuff, and it's just like two very different roles, and it's really hard to compare. But yeah,
it is very, very true. Actually, I think that Wes Morgan is the best player in the league personally, but that is up to your interpretation. Danny Welbeck's up there. Yeah.
All right.
I don't think we missed any teams. If we did, I'm so sorry. I'm so
Did we top
terribly...
Burnley?
We did.
Alright,
it was
excellent.
boring. It was quick. Didn't have much to say.
All right, roll the outro music.
Wait, did we talk about Everton?
Yes, we
Okay,
talked about
Everton's
Everton
bad.
very much.
That's it.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for
Marcus,
watching.
good night.
Thanks for listening, guys. Smash that
Hold
like
on.
and subscribe button.
Can we say hello by the way?